Hey folks, Josh here. You may notice our intro to our shows are a little shorter lately. That's because we are no longer with the Rusty Quill Network. Joseph and I made this decision and worked with Rusty Quill to secure an early exit from our contract. Our goal has been and always will be to create the best shows possible, and we felt that we could do that better without a network partner for the time being. That said, we make this show for you. This is an effort of love primarily, and every episode we put out of What's in the Rift, Wireland Ranch, and soon The Dope Show is done to bring good stories to the good people that listen to them. I just want to take a moment to thank you for giving us a listen while you cook dinner or do your commute or fall asleep or however you choose to spend time with us. All right, enough sappy shit. Now, What's in the Rift? For the best listening experience, we recommend headphones.
Previously on What's in the Rift.
I need you to shut up the...
Jenny, drive. Just go. Just go.
My reaction to the shot would be to punch it.
The impact is jarring, to say the least. You go flying against the restraint of your seatbelt, and Ace goes tumbling over the seat.
Hop that fence into the grass and basically drive across this field that apparently everyone else is driving across. All right, I'm gonna roll. Yeah. Not a 16. I got an 8, 4, 3, 5, so 13.
Okay.
So they catch us. And they kill us.
We'll find out in just a second. Toska, he looks to you and says,
Toska, положи их в конфрозал вместе с остальным мусором. Мне противник воображаем друзья, брос.
What, bro? What?
Bruce, who is this?
Seems like you already know. I mean, I know we didn't end things super well last time, and I still owe you for that beer, but why are you playing these mind games? It's Toska. You called him Toska.
He did.
Silly me, of course.
Bruce, my patience for games is very thin today.
And he says this, and you hear the doors behind you on the other side of the hall click open. And through them walk 3 very imposing figures.
Please, I do not want dramatics. I do not want this to be a big thing. I am very tired. I have been up all night, and I would rather that you just come, sit with your friend. Where are the rest of them, Bruce?
We're people. We're not cargo. Treat us as
Bruce,
humans.
where are the rest of them?
Bruce is trying to signal with his eyes that they should shock Dima. He's going a little,
I'm going to lunge toward Dima, leave Jackie standing between me and the other 3 guys, get around behind Dima so that I can grab him while facing the other 3 guys at the opposite end of the hallway. And I'm going to put the baton to Dima's throat. And I'm hoping that Bruce is somewhere right there with me. And I'm going to hold that stance and let Bruce tell me where to go from here because he understands the situation better than I do, maybe.
Maybe.
And he holds his hand up to the people on the opposite side of the hallway, the ones approaching you.
No. Нет, don't do this. Пожалуйста, Alana, остановись. Stop. Please, stop. Please.
So,
but they're not stopping.
They're not stopping.
What's in the Rift is intended for mature audiences. This show includes death, drug use, criminal activity, and a consistent undercurrent of existential dread. Any children discovered listening to this show will get the hammer.
Yeah.
Bruce, do we kill Dima?
That's what Herman said to do.
It's not just what Herman said to do, it's also what Victoria said to do. Or she never quite told us that, but she might as well have. Oh god, fuck it, I'm killing Dima. I've got no choice in the matter at this point. They won't stop, I'm killing Dima. I'm squeezing the trigger as hard as possible to kill Dima.
Tell me exactly what you do. I want you to describe this to me.
I'm grabbing Dima by the throat. He's squirming. I have my arm around his entire head. Then I have the baton to his jugular, I guess that would be, whatever artery that is in the side of your neck. And if they're not going to stop, then I'm just going to squeeze it as hard as I can and let him go limp in my arms and then drop him to the ground.
You tense your grip on this baton, and it sparks to life again. And the three people at the end of the hall don't even seem to care in the way that they're moving on you. Jackie, they are maybe 5 feet in front of you when Toska rips this baton into Dima's neck. Toska, you can feel him in your arms start to tense, and you have a moment where you realize that you're pushing some type of signal-giving device into someone that you're physically holding, and you've set it to like a kill level of intensity.
Yes.
And you press it fully into his neck. Dima's stiff, and you can feel the tingle through your clothing, across your hand, and you are going to pick up a D10 complication here called paralyzed. Dima drops to the ground, dead. But you drop with him too, taking the brunt of that shock with only the little bit of insulation given by him. You are unable to move. Bruce, you see Dima go down, obviously lifeless, almost immediately upon contact with this baton. You see Toska follow him to the ground, also seemingly lifeless, but you can see the panic in his eyes. Jackie, from where you're standing, the remainder of these folks are still advancing on you. The first one reaches out to you, like they're going to grab you. What do you do?
I think I will throw my hands up with the stick in it, but not like holding it by the handle, like at the midpoint, and kind of like try to back up and be like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
You back up further. They have not changed their pace at all. You get until you're parallel with Bruce, and they're still advancing on you. Bruce and Jackie both, they're now within arm's reach of the two of you, and Toska and Dima are collapsed on the ground behind you.
Do they look like they have like any type of emotion on their face? Like, are their eyes kind of blank at this point?
Maybe they're robots.
Can't even see their eyes. They're wearing some type of balaclava with glasses.
Oh. Has anyone spoken or said anything?
Nobody said a word from their group since they started on this.
Any more bright ideas, Bruce?
I feel like we'd be acting on instinct and just like shielding Toska's body if he's lying there limp.
You drop to your knees and you shield Toska's body with your own. Jackie, they reach you and a hand goes to grab your wrist, the wrist of the hand holding the baton. Do you resist?
Yes.
Okay. This is a D10 challenge with the they're after you.
Okay. Ooh, those are some cold fucking dice.
11.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to go with against the odds survivor. And since Bruce is the only conscious one, I'm going to go with his relationship and self-preservation.
Good call.
And enforcer for a die 12.
Okay. You're beating an 11.
15.
Okay. You manage to rip your wrist away from him, and they don't really react rather than to try to go and grab your wrist again. Do you respond?
I am going to reach over and grab the end of the baton with my other hand and try to squeeze and shock him without touching his body at the same time, and try to put it between like an armor piece, maybe towards the neck.
Okay, sure. Give me, this is now a contest roll.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I can't really describe to you the pool that I'm building without away a little bit too much at this moment, but suffice to say that I'm building this off of a sheet.
So vague.
All right. They have a 1. If you have a plot point, you can spend it to enact a hitch for them.
Yes.
But you have an 18 still.
Okay, hold on. We're going to go with...
Sorry, actually, you should have rolled first, but it's the same pool that I'll be rolling regardless.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Let's see. Against the odds, Bruce, self-preservation, 12 for enforcer, and I would like to... I don't think I have anything to add a die.
I mean, you can add a die with a plot point. You can step up a die with a plot point. You can make some minor thing about this seem true with a plot point.
Would it be feasible to have Dima have pissed himself and made a puddle that reaches the guard's feet but not ours?
I like where this is going.
You want Dima, who up until 2 minutes ago was the big bad guy of this
Stay
campaign,
hydrated, yo.
to have pissed himself so profusely that he created a puddle that touches all 3 feet of the guards.
I will throw a plot point.
I will give you my 2
I'll make a
points
plot
for
point
that.
and give it to that.
I'm not there, but I'll throw all 3 of mine for that.
Well, it was a
come
very
on.
violent death.
But
Okay.
I'm in this puddle too, let's be clear.
Well, I mean, you had him from behind.
I did ask for us not to be in it for part of the thing. If that's not going
Okay.
to work, then I
Yeah.
don't want to do it.
I will do that for 2 plot points.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, for 2 plot points, yes. So Dima has pissed himself so profusely that it is just in a large puddle on this floor, large enough to have reached their feet, but not your own.
Okay. I still would like to take my other hand and reach for the end of the baton to stick it into his neck.
Of course.
And I am going to roll for that.
Okay.
Not enough. 12.
Okay. So the 18 means that he manages to deflect that enough. But this is a contest. You can give up now, take a plot point, and you dictate how you give up, but he will gain control of your wrist, or you can try to beat it again. I will say this. You're beating an 18, which is very difficult. So if you do it again, understand that he will get to dictate how this ends, and there will be no plot point awarded.
Can I have it happen where he grabs my wrist, but my other hand does grab the baton, and at the last second I throw it towards Bruce?
Yes.
I would like to do that, please.
He reaches down and grabs your wrist as you're trying to force the baton with the other hand into his neck. Unfortunately, he's just too strong, even for you with your military background. He's built like a ranger, and you simply can't force your way through it. You're most recently a pilot, and after that a doctor, and you just don't have the hand-to-hand combat training brushed up to the point, Jackie, where you feel that you're going to be able to force your way through it. But in that moment, you decide that if you're going to fail, you're going to give somebody else a chance. And you release the baton with the hand being held, and you toss it to Bruce on the ground. Bruce, this baton clatters into Toska's chest and sits there within your reach. As Jackie is gathered up by this man and the two remaining begin to approach you.
So Bruce is going to hopefully grab both of the batons, the one that Toska had as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's not like short-circuited or anything, is it?
Not to the best of your knowledge.
Okay. And I guess seeing the puddle of piss, I think Bruce is going to try to squeeze those batons into the piss because the guys are standing in the piss, and try to shock them through it transmitting through the liquid.
What have we become?
Bruce, you jam both ends of these batons into the puddle.
Puddle of urine.
The puddle of urine.
Squeeze the blue one. Urine.
How hard do you squeeze them?
Well, Bruce hasn't used the batons yet, so I don't think he's going to go quite as hard as Toska did, seeing how that turned out.
You do know how they operate, though. There's been discussion on the batons, so...
But adrenaline also, you might not realize how hard
He's going to try to squeeze them to stun.
Okay. Bruce, you jam both of these batons into the puddle of piss in front of you. Squeeze. But before we get to that, let's move an incredibly short distance away to Court, sitting alone in a conference room with someone who appears to be a friend, but is decidedly not friendly. Court, Dima left you maybe 20 minutes ago, and you did not expect to be sitting here alone with a single guard for this entire time. What have you been doing?
Court has been kind of pacing around the conference room, not going towards the door, every so often looking out the window, muttering to herself just about predictability. She keeps looking at the fire alarm that she had pulled and gets agitated every time she does.
Really? And that's predictable?
As she looks up at fake Toska.
You understand that being predictable is just like the death of any entertainer. Nobody wants to see you anymore. But I don't know what you know I would do and what I wouldn't do because I don't have any memories, right? You get me, right, Toska?
You see a brief flicker in his eyes as you say his name, but he otherwise remains stone-faced, positioned by the door.
Oh, wow. You're a very stoic type, you know that. Oh, I bet you're the kind of person who's really good at being afraid of things.
He stops when you say that, and his head turns and he looks directly at you. There's a challenge in his eyes.
Oh, I knew it. See? You see, I'm not trying to mean like an insult. I'm not trying to challenge you. But you see, when you're afraid of stuff, you are very good at like hyper-fixating to keep yourself alive, right? You seem like the kind of person who would like hone in on what's going on in order to make sure you get out. Am I right?
He doesn't respond, but he remains staring at you.
I mean, me personally, I'm very bad at being afraid. I'm very good at being terrified, though, which is a completely different situation. You see, when you're terrified, you want to get out no matter what. You're not focusing on what's causing the problem. You're not focusing on the twig that snapped or that call off in the distance. No, you don't care. You really just want to get out. And honestly, what's been very useful for me throughout my life. Not having to worry about what the danger is, just leaving. I came to realize one thing, though, after talking to everyone here for a while. I never told anybody a lot of details about what's going on with me. I gave really vague answers from the sound of it. So I think I'm going to try to do something very unpredictable now. I should be fine because I'm very easy at being terrified. But I'm sorry for you, Toska, because you're good at being scared.
He reaches down and pulls at something on his wrist and brings it up to his mouth and starts to speak into it.
I need someone else in the conference room.
I hope you're still listening,
You
because
get Dima.
I would not recommend that. The more people that are here, the worse it's going to get. Because you see, the more people are going to be scared. And the more people that are scared, the more power the Yolandie gets. It's how it works, really. The more you think about it and the more you fear it, the more it's here, the more powerful it gets.
You start speaking like this, Court, and whether an empty threat or not, you do see a flash of genuine terror in Toska's eyes.
That is what you need to survive this. You must not focus on it. Don't think about it. Evolution branches in two ways when it comes down to fear and terror. You are scared of a bear or a mountain lion, and so you must know how to avoid it. You are terrified of a skinwalker, so you must not think about it. These two things branch it off, and unfortunately, Toska, you are very good at being scared of things.
There's a long, low, and distant call, almost like an elk in distress, that can be heard through the window at this point.
Oh, what was that, Toska? Oh, probably should think about it, though, because when you start imagining things, it gets closer. Well, I'm pretty sure I've done something that is not predictable.
Toska again pulls his sleeve up to his mouth and begins speaking into it.
Something is wrong. It seems that the creations now are doing the same thing. You have to eliminate all of them. Dima, if you can hear me, kill the rest.
And he turns to you, and he pulls a baton from his waistband and holds it up. He takes a step towards you. A quiver in his voice, he makes a demand of you.
Send it away. Unmake it.
I can do that, but I can't do it alone because you know of it now.
Unmake it!
Alright, you're going to have to work with me then, otherwise it's not going away.
He panics a little, and his grip falters, and a pop and a spark explodes from the end of the baton. He takes another step forward and he goes,
No! Unmake it now!
Oh no, you talked too much. It's a little too late now.
And Court turns her head to look at the window.
It's here.
Court, you fully manifested a monster.
Yay.
You have to tell me what this monster is doing, what it's capable of, and what is happening next here.
So the Yolandie is a Navajo urban legend, or actually more though part of their culture. It is a evil witch-like creature that can change between animal and human and can get stuck in between. The more you know about it and the more you think about it, the more power it gets and the more it's attracted to come after you. So your fear actively fuels it. Besides that, it can mimic your voice. It can mimic anyone's voice it hears. And it can elongate to some pretty upsetting sizes, when it's changing. That being said, it likes to strike as much fear as possible, so it'll often watch things and make sure that they know they're being watched. I always picture as an elk.
Okay.
How is Court summoning this thing?
What's up?
How is Court able to summon this thing?
This is what Court's in the Rift from. I've done all my research on this thing for the past 3 or 4 years. I'm Hail Marying
the
it.
Skinwalker.
I guess you're going to have to find out, Patty.
Next time on What's in the Rift.
Yeah, I was just
oh, that was a really short episode.
Just end it right here. Yep. Okay. Court, you say your piece, and you take a step away from the window and away from Toska towards the far end of the room. But Toska's gaze doesn't follow you. Instead, he looks out the window, where a clacking sound has started. It sounds almost like a branch tapping on the window, but it's not any branch that's visible. There's nothing there that he immediately sees, but it's getting more intense. And almost like a moth to a flame, this Toska can't help but approach, trying to investigate, trying to get eyes on whatever is causing this sound. That clacking gives way to a voice, a man's voice. And it sounds almost as if it's coming immediately from the other side of the window. And as much as you have conjured this thing to scare and possibly harm your captor, the sound of it immediately puts you back in that place in a Nevada desert years ago.
Please, someone help me. Please, someone help me.
Toska has fully moved from guarding you or any semblance thereof and is at this window staring out, trying to see what is making that noise. Court, if you're going to make a break for it, now would be the time.
I'm sorry you are so good at being afraid, Toska.
And Court dashes out the door.
Court, you leave this conference room and you escape into this hall where there are a number of black-clad figures moving things from the individual rooms back towards the door behind you as you face out towards the direction you'd come from, the direction of your room. Almost all of them pay no immediate mind to you, but one almost mechanically turns and starts walking towards you the second that you leave that conference room. Back in that conference room, you can hear the same clacking, the same refrain. And at the far end of the hall is a door you haven't been through before. What's your play?
Court is sprinting instinctually towards the door at the end of the hallway because it is the furthest thing away from where she came from. All the while just muttering the mantra,
don't think about it, keep moving, be somewhere else.
And just top speed, trying to evade anything that's in her way.
Towards where she'd come from, or towards the door she has
Towards the door she has not been through. The most important thing is to get away from that conference room right now.
Okay. Court, you book it top speed, and if there's one thing that you are undoubtedly good at, it is moving in a crowd. You dodge and weave through the mess of uniformly adorned people, gathering supplies, moving things, almost as if packing this entire place up and bringing it somewhere else. And you bust through the door at the end of the hallway into a large, dark, almost cavernous warehouse-like room. At the far ends of the room, there are soft lights and what appear to be hospital beds. There are more people in here that are congregating around these beds, almost as if they're being gathered up or packed away. And indeed, for the briefest moment, you see a flash of light as an exterior door is opened. A gurney is wheeled out into the parking lot outside.
Court sees an exit with that open door in the parking lot and tries to close the distance across this room at top speed.
You make it halfway through this warehouse, every footfall landing and echoing and reverberating through this space, before you hear a sound that can only be described as metal being torn like paper. There is a shout from the room that you had left. You have to assume that Toska must have taken his attention off of the window just long enough for this thing to become insistent, and it has entered the building. Strangely enough, that's the only scream that you hear, though. Are you continuing on, or does this cause Court to stop and think about the Skinwalker? This is a test.
I see.
This is a D10 test with the thereafter crisis.
All right. So I will definitely be using something is watching.
Okay.
As my distinction. Because...
Hold on. You need to know the roll first before we start building your dice pool. I have an 8 on the D12, a 5 on the D10, and a 1 on the remaining die. You have to beat a 13. Go ahead. Give me your dice pool.
Okay. Court is going to be using Something is Watching, because this is not the first time Court has been hunted by the Skinwalker. So she has an idea of what to do and to stay single-minded. Court would actually like to use the relationship with the traveling circus, because during the moments where she was first learning about the Skinwalker, she found the circus as a distraction in order to keep her mind off things. So would it be possible for her to just be thinking about essentially that as like a mind soothe?
I'll allow that.
And the last one is going to be self-preservation for very obvious reasons.
Understandably.
Right. That is a 13.
Okay. Ties go to the player.
Oh, thank God.
That sound causes you to falter, and your footsteps stop, and the door in front of you closes again, the gurney disappearing on the other side as people move about this space as if they haven't heard it. And it takes everything in you, Court, not to turn back towards that sound. What are you saying to yourself in this moment to keep your mind off of that?
Keep moving. Be somewhere else. Survive. Keep moving. Be somewhere else. Survive.
And Court, with that mantra, steals her will.
And pushes off towards that far door. Court, it is an airlock-style door that you go through. There's a brief hallway before you press through the last door, unlock, and are now out in the parking lot outside of the building that very recently was your prison. For the second time, you've managed to escape. And I have to assume this time you won't voluntarily send yourself back in.
Not a chance.
You look around to try and get your bearings. There are, seemingly out of nowhere, dozens upon dozens of these white-clad vans, all gathered up, arranged with their back doors thrown open. Unlike the van that you've been transported in, a lot of these do appear to just be cargo vans, and they are filled to the brim with boxes of files, with numerous computers and electronic equipment. There are myriad things piled up in the back of these vans, and each one, almost as if being attended to by ants, is being loaded by more of these black-clad figures. A few, indeed, also have the same setup as the van that you arrived in, and these house gurneys with, to the best of your ability to determine, lifeless people on them. And as you run by, trying to distance yourself, trying to make sense of the fact that nobody seems to be trying to stop you here, you catch a glimpse of one of those bodies on the gurney. And it's Jenny. It's everything that you know Jenny to be. And granted, you've known Jenny for only a few hours, but you would recognize that face anywhere. That is Jenny, laying there unconscious with a large clear tube running from a bulky machine at the side of this gurney into what you would have to guess is a PICC line into her chest. Do you slow down, or has it gotten too weird? Are you leaving at this point?
I think you have said the one thing that would actually stop Court from just fleeing.
And you're going to go back inside?
Yeah, back inside. No way in hell. You said that Jenny is in the back of this van?
Yes.
Is anyone in the driver's seat of this van?
It's impossible to tell from where you're at. Are you moving closer to investigate?
Yep. Not stealthily, full sprinting.
Okay. You divert your path of egress and you wrap around the side of this van. And as you get to the front of it, there is someone sitting in the driver's seat, and they are stock still motionless, hands at 10-2 on the wheel, staring straight ahead, almost as if they are inactive and waiting for a command.
Court is going to, upon seeing this, flip around to the back of the van to slam the door shut so that when the car takes off, Jenny does not go flying out the back.
Okay.
Then loop back around and try to, since this person doesn't seem to react, and just grab them by the shirt coat and try to rip them out of the van.
Okay. Court, this is a full-grown adult man
Yeah, that's fair.
It's going to take some strength to pull them out of this van, especially with the grip that they have on the wheel. But they're not actively resisting you, so this is a test as opposed to a contest. We're going to call this a D8 test.
Okay.
With no further crisis attached.
All right.
You have a 7 to beat.
Definitely. So Court is going to use light on my feet, fast to act, trying to use essentially like momentum of her running to just rip this person out as she's swinging around this van. Using the athletic specialists, just years of muscle toning from working at the circus. And is going to use loyalty for this one because she is actively suppressing her will to survive in order to help her friend.
Okay. Give me that roll.
Well, I got a 1, but I got a 14.
Okay. That's a heroic success. There will be a complication that we're going to introduce to this. You will get a D6 complication of panicked. It's too weird, this is too surreal, and it's becoming overwhelming for Court. But tell me how you get this person out of the car.
So Court, upon seeing the person, runs to the back, slams the doors shut, and then does a full pivot with momentum to run back around towards the driver's seat, and with just unwavering speed, runs from the side, reaches in to grab the shoulder of this driver, and using the momentum of her just booking it, rips this person out from the driver's seat.
Court, you gain control of the front of their jumpsuit, and the momentum of your body moving and the way that you've chosen to do this is enough to cleanly rip them free. And their hands, though firmly gripped on the wheel, give way with a bit of a pop. Sitting where you are, standing where you are, in between these vans, this row of vans, you can look up and down now through the cabin of this van, and the first thing that strikes you is how eerily perfectly aligned all these windows are. Staring first in front of you and then glancing behind you, and how in each one of these there is a person, all of varying sizes, but all adopting the same posture and the same stance, as if they're waiting at attention. You gun it and you pull out of this line of vans, and you don't even bother to close the driver's door. You allow the momentum of the accelerating van to do it for you, and you pull out into this lot. There are a number of these same figures walking through the lot, carrying various boxes, none of which turn to stop you. Are you are you plowing through people, or are you trying to avoid hitting them?
Or is panicked, but she still values human life, so she will avoid the people as much as she can.
It's a little bit slow going as you wait, almost as if waiting for ducks to cross the road.
Oh my god, people. You move right now.
But you do manage to make your way out to a road at the end of this lot here that very helpfully is labeled as Interstate Road. You pull out which direction, Court?
Court takes a right.
Court, you take a right, and you start accelerating down the road.
I'm getting you out of here, Jenny. I don't know where we're going, but we're getting out of here.
Where, about a mile away, Jenny and Blanche, a headless Victoria, and a very nervous Ace are stopped in a field with a van slowly approaching into that same field behind them. Jenny, it's the damnedest thing. You would have sworn that once the SUV stopped moving in this field, once it stopped responding to the gas pedal, you would have assumed that it was over from there. But strangely enough, the van that had pursued you up to this point is creeping into the field behind you, moving obviously with the caution that you now wish you would have adopted, but at the time you did not feel you had the luxury of. But you sit in the cabin of this SUV, watching in the side view mirror as it's very slowly gaining ground on you. What are the two of you doing?
I have a plot point that says they run over something and get a flat tire.
Okay, sure. They get to a point, roughly the same point that you would have figured that you had first started to encounter trouble going through this field. And despite the slow progress they're making, you can see the explosive decompression of one of their tires as it rapidly deflates, having run over something that has damaged it beyond its structural integrity. It sits there for a moment, almost as if considering whether they push on with a flat tire, before 3 people get out of the vehicle. One from the passenger's door, one from the driver's door, one from the back of the van. Share a glance for a moment, and then start walking towards your SUV.
God damn. They're fucking robots, aren't they?
Maybe.
They are the Rift.
So, Cor got to do her thing. This may be a very convenient time for a glitch. I'm just saying.
Do it.
I can't summon them. That's the whole issue.
I have 2 plot points that says Jason Christ appears.
Oh, that would be spicy. In reality, what Jenny would do...
Are you offering 2 plot points for Jason to appear?
I am. As a follower
Yes.
in one of his flock, I want Jason to appear and save me as I pray.
Jenny, you catch in the now broken and dangling rearview mirror as it swings back and forth in the breeze through this SUV, the briefest of glimpses of what appears to be Blanche clasping her hands and praying furiously.
Blanche, we don't have time for this right now. We need to run.
Jason is my shepherd and he shall save his flock. Jason is my shepherd and he will do his
Blanche, grab
He is
Ace.
the
We
brave
gotta
one.
go. And I'm gonna, open the door. Ace, come on.
You go to call Ace, and as you spin to open the door to exit the vehicle, the bright light of the early morning has changed in quality. It's gone near blood red. And as you step out of the vehicle, Ace whining and moving with you, with Blanche still inside the car, praying furiously, you venture a look at the sky, and the sun looks like a vessel of red wine. And
Not an IPA?
That would be a weird color. Well, actually, it wouldn't be a weird color for the sun.
you don't know what to make of it, but you do know that behind you there are 3 advancing UCRI goons. And, well, you tell me what you do.
I really don't want to leave Blanche, but I really don't want to confront these guys. So I will be outside the car pleading with her to get the fuck up until they get probably fairly close. Are they fully clothed like the stormtrooper the other guys were? like they have like the mask and stuff so you can't see their face? Or are they just in like suits or whatever?
They're in black jumpsuits. They do not have the same balaclavas or eye coverings that the previous ones did. They all share the same blank, expressionless look, and they're all moving towards you at the exact same rate.
Are they all different, like men, women, short, tall, or are they all like pretty athletic?
There's no uniformity between them. They look like regular people just moving as if they were a flock of birds.
Okay, well, I'm trying to base this on how athletic they look and how fast I think they could run. And if they get too close where they'd be able to catch me, I'm just going to have to leave. But until that breaking point, I'm going to be pleading with Blanche. Like, we got to go. And I'll even open the back door and try, like, pulling her arm and, like, Ace, help me get her out. Blanche, we have to go. And as they get closer and closer, Jenny will probably even start to freak out to the point where she's starting to, like, tear up and, like, start crying because these guys are obviously going to come kill them. And she really doesn't want to leave Blanche, but she really can't stay here, and she's very torn. So she's getting to that point of tears where she's like, come on.
Okay. Blanche, Jenny is begging you to stop what you're doing. What do you do?
I start to get up and move out of the car, but I just continue saying my prayer and frantically praying, but while moving.
That's fine. Pray and move. Let's go. We gotta run. I'm going to take off in the opposite direction from which they are coming towards us, obviously.
You begin to move away from these folks when a voice almost as if amplified 1,000,000 times over, erupts from the air around you.
Yo, for the winners out there, you got a spot on my throne. Just like I conquered and kicked it with my old man on his throne, bro, I am back.
Jason?
We hear this voice like this disembodied voice from the sky kind of thing.
You hear this disembodied voice from the sky and the sound of trumpets and a crack as if the surface of the earth has been torn asunder, rendered in twain. And disconcertingly enough, Blanche's feet begin to lift off the ground.
Sorry, what?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Jenny? Jenny, I'm floating.
I turn around.
The voice from the sky continues and says,
Spirit and the bride are like, come on, dude, if you're hearing it, shout it back. Come. Thirsty? Roll up and grab the ultimate taste destroyer. Water of life, bro. And don't rat me out, but I made it an IPA.
What in the hell is happening? Blanche, where are you going?
It's Jason! I told you! It's Jason, and you doubted me!
What are you
and
talking
I doubted.
about?
How did I ever doubt Jason? I'm so grateful you're here!
Are these guys still like coming towards us, or have they stopped to also acknowledge the disembodied voice in the sky?
They have not. They are still approaching.
Fucking
Blanche,
robots, I'm telling you.
I'm gonna hold Blanche's ankle like a balloon and try to keep running.
Okay.
I have Ace running next. Does Ace have a leash with him, or is he free dogging it?
He's free
Okay,
dogging.
that's fine.
Ace is free dogging.
He's a good boy. I just was wondering if I need to pick up his leash so like they don't catch it or something. But I've got Ace free dogging with me, and I'm holding Blanche like a balloon. I'm just trying to run away.
I just need the artwork from this scene.
You have Blanche's ankle. You start to move through this field, panicked.
Yes.
As the voice around you becomes more intense. And one last call sounds.
Check it. I'm rolling in real soon. Got all my rewards in tow. I'm gonna dish out what everyone's earned. And newsflash, karma is real.
Blanche, what is it talking about? Blanche, what is he talking about?
Karma's real.
And Blanche,
it's real.
you, from your ascended state, well above where Jenny is currently residing, on the ground, you see a figure on the horizon, superimposed over the sky. Jason.
Like giant?
As if world eating. As if larger than anything you've ever seen. You see Jason Christ.
Hot damn, Jason, you picked a hell of a time to come back.
I am the king of all kings, lord of all lords, bro. Total boss status. And all you fuckers do not believe will pay.
Whoa!
What are you doing with this? Do you want to ascend?
I mean, I can't just leave them, but I can just leave them. But, like, can I really just leave them?
Back in the building in UCRI, Bruce, you stand with both batons pressed into a puddle of warm, fresh piss, and you've squeezed them enough just to lightly shock the folks there. Is that correct?
That is correct. And Bruce is saying, I'm number one.
Okay. Are we trying to game the system now with that? Or is this just Bruce having
He's
a
just
moment?
going for a comic book.
He lit a cigarette as soon as he was done.
Yeah.
Bruce, you wind up, and almost like this is your moment to fully be a superhuman hero. You jam these batons into the piss. Unfortunately, nothing happens.
Oh no.
The three of them do stop advancing, though, one still holding a struggling Jackie. And it's at that moment that you hear two things happen. You hear a horrible rending sound of metal being torn asunder. At the same time, you hear a call of clarion trumpets, seemingly from nowhere and everywhere all at once. And one of the three stops long enough to pull the balaclava off their face and look at you.
Bruce, you have to stop this.
Could you start by letting my friend go?
Bruce, you have to stop this. You can stop this, Bruce.
It seems like you could stop. Why didn't you stop before? Why now? Who are you?
Bruce, it's me. It's Alana.
Does this look like Alana?
No, this is a large, athletic, military-looking man.
Okay. Can I slightly squeeze the baton to get the sound of static? To tune into
Sure.
spirit radio and try to get a read on this?
Absolutely. Bruce, you squeeze this baton and it pops and crackles and begins to arc. As the sound intensifies, the person who'd been speaking to you shouts at you.
Bruce, we don't have time for you to be having delusions right now. You have to remember, Bruce, you can stop this.
Are you trying to press through it?
Yeah.
Bruce, you go to squeeze further on that baton and you go slack. You try to reach out for the pattern and the rhythm of the universe to impart its knowledge on you. Do you close your eyes during this? What does Bruce look like while this is happening?
I think normally he would close his eyes, but given the situation, he's far too nervous to do that.
Okay.
So he's kind of staring at the person claiming to be Alana.
You are trying to reach out to spirit radio, but it's not coming this time. And the second figure, the one remaining that isn't holding Jackie, pulls off the balaclava too, pulls off the sunglasses, and in unison the two of them say,
Bruce, I know that you don't understand, but we have a job to do. Stop them.
I don't understand. We killed Dima. What do you mean? Shouldn't that stop it?
You killed Dima, which was part of the plan. Thank you for that. But you need to rein in your creations.
My creations? What do you mean, my creations?
Bruce, do this with me.
Are they still holding Jackie?
Yes, still holding Jackie.
Why am I going to do anything with you when you're still restraining my friend?
Your friends are dangerous. Bruce, please just do this with me. You're going to do it anyway, but please just do it the way that we talked about. You're on a river, Bruce. You are 10 years old.
You're ice skating. Do you remember, Bruce?
Close your eyes. Think.
I remember I didn't want to play hockey. I just wanted to ice skate.
It was a warm day, Bruce. Unseasonably warm. Do you remember?
I think I do.
The ice was slick. There wasn't much snow. The boys there were not being nice to you. Do you remember?
Too well.
Bruce, I need you to remember going under the ice. Remember the cold water.
I remember now.
Remember the feeling of the life slipping out of you. Remember the emptiness. I have tried to send you this message multiple times. Bruce, I need you to go to your gelato place.
I know I've been there. I don't know how to go there.
Think of the water. Think of the water. Think of the water. Think of it coming in, pressing against your lips and nostrils. Think of it cold, filling up your lungs. Think of your time there, dark, below the surface, floating, numb, empty. You have to remember. You said you remembered! 6 minutes dead, 15 minutes hypoxic. When you awoke, you had very few memories. Bruce, remember the water!
I can't. Toska's laying on the ground. I can't leave this place.
Bruce, you have to try!
Bruce, you hear in the distance another thrum of trumpets. And this one sounds almost more threatening. And further back in the building, you can hear what sounds like an entire herd of braying elk, of animals being hurt, before you hear another sound rise above it, the sound of a human voice that says,
"Someone help me. Please. Someone help me."
Where are all these voices coming from?
Bruce, it's you! You have to go to your gelato place! Focus! Please!
Bruce clicks his heels. Do it?
Bruce, there's two things that can happen right now. You can reject this call from whatever this is that's happening, or you can lean into it. And there are two paths, but they are very different depending on what you decide to do here. So, do you focus on what these things claiming to be Alana are? Or do you reject that? Do you try to get concessions from them? Are you trying to resist what this thing is saying to you?
Bruce believes in fate. From the moment that this adventure began, one of the first things that happened was that he got mysterious communication from Alana, and that's been guiding him through all of this. So Bruce is going to try to follow the instructions from Alana.
Despite your protestations, you are called back to a place that you don't fully remember. But the second that you listen to the instructions as provided, to think of the river, to think of being out past the rink, to think of going under the ice, to think of the cold water pressing into your throat past your already numb lips, to think of the life slipping out of you and that cold nothingness, and you're there. You feel it. You feel that emptiness around you. You feel blank. There's no telling how long this actually lasts before you feel a hand on your shoulder shaking you. When you open your eyes, you see those same three figures, one standing off to the side, still clad in a balaclava and glasses, two unmasked staring at you with appreciative looks on their faces.
But hold the phone. What was the point of that?
The one remaining holds nothing in their hands.
Jackie?
She's not there.
Are Toska and Dima there?
You turn around to look, and there is no Toska. There is only a Dima, still laying dead and flaccid in a puddle of his own piss.
Oh, fudge brownies. How do I know where they went?
But there's also no sound, of a creature tearing through the building. There's no impending boom of trumpets. There's no sense of an ending that there was moments prior.
Alana's? Is this what you wanted?
Bruce, you remember? You're here. We're not starting over this time.
I remember that you two beefy fellas were both saying that you're Alana? Yeah?
Bruce, you remembered.
Uh-huh.
And the beefier of the two crouches down to its knees and wraps its arms around you.
Oh, that's nice.
We have made so much progress. I am so confident we will finally get through this thing together.
This has been What's in the Rift. If you enjoyed our show, please remember to rate and review on your favorite podcast platforms. If you really enjoyed our show, you can support us directly via Patreon or join our Discord. Both links can be found at what'sintherift.com. What's in the Rift is brought to you by Gas Station Drugs.
This is going to go so hard.
Sure. It's canon now.
It's in the lore.
Piss boy.